Well, hello everyone. Thank you for coming here and watching my presentation today. I'm super excited. You know, I get really excited about talking of all the minor skin irregularities that we love to treat in our treatment room. Okay, so, and we want to know what can we treat, what can't we treat? And you know, there are many different ways to go about treating these minor skin imperfections. And many of you guys have been doing this for years with different modalities, but there are a lot of new estheticians and they're always wondering, can we do this? Will this do it better? So I want to kind of unlock a few of the things I've learned along the way and different modalities and why I pick and choose a few things over the other. And I'm always open to new ways to treat. You know, there is definitely more than one way to skin a cat. And I want to present a few of these to you. And in the comments, please, if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. And if I pull up a slide and you have a question, please go right ahead into the comments and ask me. I have, at the end of this presentation, I have a huge announcement to make, but also I have a giveaway today in the swag bag, and I want to go into a little bit about that during my presentation, which ties in really nicely to minor skin imperfections. So let me just go to my show here. And okay, so today what I want to accomplish in kind of a very broad sense is to become acquainted with the different modalities that skincare pros like you and I would use in the treatment room. We want to find out whether the modalities are in your scope of practice and how sometimes you can combo your treatments in order to give a dazzling result. First of all, scope of practice, I think, is super important. Of course, we all think that. We want to make sure that we're practicing safely for our clients, safely for our livelihood. So it is a hot topic when you're deciding if you're at the Dallas show this weekend and you're looking at pieces of equipment. There are a lot of things out there, a lot of things that razzle dazzle you, but you're not quite sure about the scope of practice. And, you know, quite frankly, your boards of cosmetology, even boards of nursing, can be super vague. But there are a few things that you can think about before either making that purchase this weekend in Dallas or whether you want to bring something new into your office. And treating the irregularities is great because we like to get rid of all the junk and then go with our perfecting types of treatments. But if you're not permitted to do it in the first place, then you might want to hold back and try other modalities that are in scope of your practice, more lower level types of things. But a lot of boards have sort of an algorithm, and it goes something like this. Estheticians and even nurses can treat only the epidermis. There should be no cutting, no bleeding, no band-aids, and a class 1 device is good. So those three criteria are very broad too, but that helps cone down your choices when it comes to modalities treating for imperfections. So of course, the manufacturer may be able to help you, but you really want to get your info straight from either the board, which is hard to get, or from, I have a few articles that I've gotten from boards that have been very helpful. It was a little hard to get, but they can be helpful. And also a resource are your fellow skincare professionals that maybe have gone that situation and needed to get info too. So the scope is very important. And I'm going to talk about the different modalities. And this one just, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'll talk about this first. The giveaway alert today. Okay, I'm giving away a Dermlight DL100. Many of you already know what the Dermlight does, why we use it. But while we're on the topic of skin imperfections, it's a great way to segue into my giveaway alert. Every skincare professional could have one of these in their room, and they would be very useful. We look through the derm light when we do treatments in our office because we want to make sure that we're not treating anything out of scope of practice, meaning anything dermal, perhaps things with a blood supply, and perhaps even the wrong hyperpigmentation. So this derm light DL100 can cross all the barriers of all of the skincare professional offices. It is the one tool that every single dermatologist has in his pocket. And this particular piece of equipment, you can snap your photos with it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And also you can really make your clients feel super special when you investigate their skin like a super sleuth with the derm light. They really feel, they appreciate the extra step that you took to look at their skin. So one of you lucky viewers is going to win this today in your swag bag. This is one of the things that I think is pretty much out of scope of practice. So I just wanted to touch on it very quickly and then move on. But the bifurcator is like a Bovie or a cautery unit. And these types of units look similar to a lot of the things that you see that we use, but they're not. They actually work very deep into the skin and can treat dermal things and also cauterize. So this is something that we typically stay away from. I know there are estheticians out there that have used this working in a physician's office, but this isn't typically something that an esthetician might use or a nurse may use, more the medical professional. Now, we can talk a little bit about cryotherapy. We all know what cryotherapy is, and people have been using cryo for years. The physicians, the MDs, pretty much cryo about 80% of what they see in their office. But there's been a surge in cryo modalities available to estheticians, nurses that are a little bit more user friendly. And what I mean by that is they're not geared as cold. They don't have the power that your derm may have or won't use it to the extent of what a derm would use. You can see here the favorite way to use cryo is with a spray stream. Problem is, that spray stream does spread out, and you'll see what I mean by that. It really has its place for lots of things, like flat hyperpigmentation, light on the skin. Physicians love to use it for more intense things, maybe even some keratosis. But the spray factor for me isn't always what I like to use because it actually goes outside of our imperfections. But again, I talk to many users that love it for certain minor skin imperfections. And again, there's more than one way to skin that cat. IPL, which many of you estheticians, I know, I've been in many offices, have IPL in their office. And it is a great therapy to help, do an IPL facial for wrinkles, but also telangiectasia and sunspots and unwanted hair. But the telangiectasia and sunspots are things that the IPL can treat nicely and has been effectively doing that for years. And so that is a good modality in the treatment. Thermolysis, which is a probe touched to the skin, it will dehydrate epidermal imperfections. And because of the way these machines are geared, you're only working in the epidermis, not below. So it takes care of a whole host of different irregularities and is actually my favorite. But there are many different modalities out there of thermolysis, and you will see results from all of these procedures along the way. Oh, nope. Oh, I guess I did. I guess I started the video. I didn't really mean to, but you can see how the dehydration process takes with this type of, there's another treatment too out there called sclerotherapy, and usually performed by a nurse or doctor, where they actually go right into the capillary with a saline solution and it collapses and dehydrates inside. So, but that's something more of a medical type of treatment. And you can see this is a nice treatment as well. I'll stop that there. Deep to medium peels are a great modality, and that's something all across the board that estheticians may do, although it may not be appropriate in your state, because some of the different peels that you can use for minor skin imperfections like hyperpigmentation, redness in the skin, scarring, that type of thing might be out of scope of practice if your state does not allow you to do the peels that go deeper into the skin. So that is one questionable modality that I think would need to be investigated. And I will tell you, scope of practice in California is about that small compared to many of the other states. Sometimes Californians are very upset when they see all the different modalities out there that they can't use. So if you're in California, double check what you can do. But some states do not allow the medium peels. So that's something that you want to look into. But the peels are great. And they're also a great adjunct if you have done other things like maybe cryo for the hyperpigmentation. And then you move on to peels to perfect the look. And so peels are really very helpful in the treatment room that way, but also on the minor skin irregularities. We know about the plasma pen. We've been seeing this for a few years now all over Facebook. And so this arc is actually pulling the skin together there. But plasma pens, besides the rave about the skin tightening, can also do some of the minor skin irregularities. There is that spark gap, and it will dehydrate the imperfections. Now, it might not be something that you would use for all of the imperfections, but many people really get nice results with their skin tags, their keratosis, things like that with their plasma pen. So if you're watching this and you've just done skin tightening, you can do some minor skin imperfection work too. So I just want to play this quick little video because of the DermLite giveaway today. I want to show you how we use it in our office and throughout my providers. So the DermLite, for one thing, really takes great pictures through the camera. You can use your phone and take a picture just like that. So whoever wins that DermLite today, I have a multitude of trainings, how to detect melanoma in your treatment room with this device. Of course, we're not diagnosing, but anything that we can look at for our clients and help differentiate whether something really looks weird or, ooh, it looks really bad, get them to their dermatologist. But this will increase your skin geekdom for sure. So you will love having this in your treatment room. Let me just show you a few things through this video. So I don't know if it was very loud on your end, but that music was really loud on my end. Sorry if I got your eardrums a little bit. But so you can see the many different things. And if you're treating minor skin imperfections in your office with whatever modality, this, as you can see, can really increase your effectiveness to select the correct client and imperfection before treating. So this is a very helpful tool, and I'm super excited someone's going to win it today. Oh, nope. There we go. Did scope. Okay. So with any of these modalities, there is always a little bit of downtime or, oh my God, is this normal? And throughout the years, and I have had this happen to me, and I'm sure it's happened to many of you out there, you treat your client, you let them know exactly what to expect, and they call you 2 days later in a panic. Well, if you're doing these types of modalities, you're going to get that response sometime, no matter how thorough you may be. It's always great to be prepared when you start with these modalities to have maybe a before and after book, or show them photos on the phone, let them know what they will look like in between, because these modalities that I showed you do have consequences, and many of these modalities aren't something that would maybe be for the brand new esthetician, but as they get more familiar with skin and get tired of seeing imperfections, then it would be time for them to get in on some of these modalities. But being able to meet your client's objections with regard to healing, what they may look like, you really, really need to be up on your game on the healing process. And that's for another day training. But so here are a few pictures. I'm sorry, I didn't have the top to them. I don't know why, but the picture on the right was done with IPL. Look at that beautiful result. So, an IPL, intense pulse light. Sometimes people poo-poo those and make it seem like you can't get the result, but that is with an IPL. Now, the one on the left, the nice gentleman's nose, is done with thermolysis, like you just saw a little earlier. So dehydrating these capillaries, and the IPL may be bombarding the capillary, but in the end, the body will absorb those capillaries. So that's what makes both of these modalities very pleasing, and they're very easy to use. Now here we have some hyperpigmented skin, and if you're an esthetician that does deeper ear peels, you might get that result that you see on the left. It's very impressive, and those results can be attained without the works of machines and things like that. So you don't have to have all of the flashy machines out there to get results like this. And this was more of a medium type of peel. Now, the gal on the right, the IPL intense pulse light, what a beautiful result there. That's an easy system to work with, and many estheticians do work with it. It's not laser, so for those that work in states that don't allow laser work by estheticians, many of the states, like New York, allow IPL. I think they even allow lasers too. So that might be something to look at. But I don't have an IPL, so I'm not up on the regulations, but I know many estheticians are permitted to use them. And besides the hair removal that they use it for, they love it for broken capillaries and hyperpigmentation. For both of those different modalities, really is a beautiful result. And I see everybody popping in. Love looking at lesions, having worked in a derm's office. Yes, estheticians that have worked in derm's office really can appreciate getting rid of them, and probably had been chomping at the bit to use modalities themselves once they opened their practices. So, and I'm just looking to see, uh, Jennifer Ellie. Oh, thank you. That was so nice of you to say. And well, thanks. I'm so glad you think the info's good, you guys. I appreciate that. And let me move on here. So this was a little bit different. Now um, there is a device out there, RF, which is a true RF that goes deeper into the skin, and it's out really of scope of practice, but I've heard so much chatter about it, and people ask me questions all the time because it looks a little similar to electrodesiccation or thermolysis, but it is actually a RF that is inserted into the skin for minor skin irregularities, and well, does a beautiful job on Syringoma on the left, thermolysis as well, with a much less invasive way, can actually do a great job as well. But for those that have, for this past like 2 months, have really bombarded me with the Agnes out there, and it is an RF machine that truly puts those radio waves deep into the tissue, but also can remove fatty tissue from around the neck, but is used for minor skin imperfections. Just wanted to throw that in there because many of you had asked me this week about that. So here's another ball type of thing, cholesterol deposits, right? And so many of us really couldn't have a erbium laser. There aren't many ways to treat this particular imperfection. Cryo would not be so good around the eye there, and even a hyfricator might be okay, but would be overkill. The erbium laser, as you can see, really hones in on this, and it's a great modality. However, it's very costly, and we really can't get our hands on it to work. So using something like thermolysis, electrodesiccation might be a great alternative to be able to treat something like this, say, around the eye. So skin tags are fun to treat, and we all know people with skin tags. Many of our clients have had skin tags, and they're pesky irregularities that seem to multiply and come in the utterly wrong places. So there are lots of modalities for skin tags, and I have two here right now, cryo and thermo. But there are things out on the market that people can use, like tag away. There's been different modalities, but these are tried and true, and this is what most people, if they've had their skin tags treated, if you go to the dermatologist and they want to cryo all these, well, they'll cryo them, and this is what can happen in between and how it looks after. And derms will, just take their cans, their Q-tips, whatever they're going to apply their cryo with, and they'll go after all of them, which is great. Thermolysis can also do the exact same thing, and cryo, no matter how big, how large, same with thermolysis or electrodesiccation, can also do a terrific job. But what I like about the plasma or thermolysis is that it's way more precise, using that tiny little probe versus a spray. But there are those new aesthetic cryo units where the spray comes out very acutely, and it will not spread as far. But they're a little costly to use, but can do a great job too. So if you have a cryo unit in your office and maybe you haven't used it for a while, you really need to break it out, because you'll want to treat your clients' skin tags It may take a few snowballs to really affect them if they're thicker, but it's really worth it. Your client's skin will be smooth, and then going on to the other procedures, everything looks just so much better. And again, the plasma pen, people love it. And here the skin tag was not quite right at the eyelash level to use something that sparks so much, but they got a beautiful result with a plasma pen. And I know the plasma pens have been super popular, but I'm not talking about, say, the handheld devices you can get on Amazon. You might want to stay away from those. In the wrong hands, they're powerful, even though they're super cheap. They will actually char the skin. You'll smell the flesh burn. You'll get the crust that'll fall off, but it's not as precise, and it hurts a whole lot more. So for those of our clients that have asked us about those modalities, and maybe they've gotten them and tried them and maybe did like a brown spot on their hand and it just never looked good after that, never healed, it was always red. Those are very hot items, and I mean hot temperature items. And clients don't really like to use them. They may purchase them. So if you use some of these modalities, you could work around the eye. Like with thermolysis, you can get right into the eyelashes. It never burns the hair. So even if somebody had a skin tag in their eyebrow, you could treat that, or their eyelash. That would be fine. The plasma pen right at the lash line might be a little bit much, but look at this beautiful result, and that's not too close to the eye. Oh, this was that slide from earlier. So we've already talked about the thermolysis and the IPL doing both a beautiful job on telangiectasia, and we also talked about scleral therapy. And of course, there are lasers out there. The Cutera, many of the different lasers will also do this, but we're really trying to talk more about the modalities that you'll be using in your own establishments without physicians, providing you can do that in your state. I get a lot of questions about warts, and as that is a common skin imperfection, I wanted to show you these pictures. Now, a cryo on the left is generally the treatment of choice for warts, and the reason is cryotherapy can go deeper into the dermis easily, killing the wart. It might need 1 or 2 treatments, but if it's strong enough, you can get that wart in 1 treatment. Now, thermolysis, and I know what you're probably all thinking, like, is she crazy? She's always telling us that estheticians should never treat warts. I'm telling you, don't treat warts out there, girls. But this is a different situation. This treatment came to us from the UK, and we have a large population of UK providers of electrodesiccation over there. And in their country, they have become highly sought after providers. The physicians actually will refer their patients to these electrodesiccators and or electrologists. But over there, they have a different approach as advanced electrology, and they treat warts. And they treat warts with thermolysis. It does take a bit of energy, and it does take a bit of effort, where here in the United States, our insurance companies prohibit us from working on moles and warts. But with thermolysis, they can do that over in the UK. I just wanted to bring that up because for a lot of you out there that follow me in, say, our group Thermolysis Skincare for Estheticians, we've gotten a huge wave of UK providers, and they bring along some of these pictures. And I don't like to confuse my USA providers, so we don't want to do this, but you can do that with thermolysis. But I just wanted to give a big shout out to my UK gals. And the chemical peels, you know, can give that extra added boost and give the modality of choice an even better look after everything is healed. So it can really, we use the cryotherapy on hands, we use thermolysis on hands, we can use even chemical peels precisely on hands for little brown spots. But afterwards, it's awfully nice to take care of the hands like you would take care of everything else. And so getting back to the derm light just a little bit more. Like I say, if you get the derm light, you will be able to be in the driver's seat and know what you should and shouldn't treat on your clients, and take a good look at them a lot. Investigate their brown spots. For instance, this picture right there is a picture of what someone was calling hyperpigmentation. So when you're treating these types of irregularities, you want to be certain what you're treating. The derm light will help you. And looking through this, you can see that there is no brown in there. You might see a little of something, but you're not seeing brown. And so looking through the derm light, you'll be able to differentiate, not diagnose. You'll be able to look at somebody said, oh, this is a brown spot, and you look at it and then you see this. You can even snap a picture to let them know that, no, Mrs. Jones, this isn't something that we treat. I'm sorry about that, but maybe some heavier peels may help. Maybe IPL may help. So things like that are helpful to give your client avenues of treatment. If we can't treat something for our client, we don't want to just say, well, I can't treat it. You know, go to your index in your head. What nurse do you know that maybe does IPL? Or how about the person that you know does cryo treatments? That type of thing would be super helpful to send your client to them, to at least give them an idea of what could be done. And it helps them, you know, stay loyal to you. So you want to not just poo-poo it, but investigate it a little bit. Maybe you'll have to send them to the dermatologist. And so let me just let you see this for a moment. And I'm big on the education. I really like to make sure people know what to treat, what not to treat, but not diagnose. We would not treat that. And not treat that either. We could treat some of that. That's not hyperpigmentation, because that's what it looks like in the derm light. Well, we wouldn't treat that because it's on the leg. And yes, we would treat that. Nope, Fortis spots. So I love, when I educate, I love to do things like that, because sometimes whatever modality you might be working with, you might think it's like your magic wand and you can work with anything and everything. But we always have to step back and really assess what we're doing, and we don't want to overstep or just say, oh, I can't wait to treat this, not knowing what really to expect. So that derm light will definitely help you out. And oh, and that's Jennifer, and that's why we do what we do and why we are here today. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you, thank you. So I'm glad you love those little pearls. I love that too. Thank you. Okay, so stop it. And again, peels are very effective. We see a lot of these on the internet. So, and look at the brown spots that she had, and look how beautiful her skin looks with a peel. And these are modalities that estheticians on every level can do. Just definitely check with the state board, but it is something that's attainable. Sometimes I have estheticians that say, oh, I really, really, really want to do something, but there are things that can be done to help with brown spots, red in the skin, and peels can be one of those modalities that can definitely help for you. help you. And come on. Oh, okay, let me just see. I think I might have run the end. I may have run the end of my course here. So, okay. So that's it for this slideshow. I did have a couple slides, but I don't know where they are. Let me just see if I can pop into them. Nope. Okay. Nope. Sorry about that craziness there. But okay, so what I'm going to do now, okay, great. I was just looking to see all who's here. So if you guys are really wanting to know about the big announcement, give us a big thumbs up. Let me know where you're coming from. I'm going to share my screen and give you some ideas. But first, is Denise with us?
Hey, Stephanie. Yes, I am. I was trying to put a thumbs up on
I don't even know how to do that.
So you said to do it, so I wanted to. So
thank you. Okay.
Should we make them wait just a couple minutes more before we spill the beans?
Well, we could, but there is a little stuff I needed to go over with them to make sure that they get to be part of it.
Okay, well, why don't you share those details and then we will spill the beans.
Okay, but first I'm going to let you all know. I've been with NASNPRO since Boston 2017. That's where it all started. And ever since then, I've been a sponsor of NASNPRO. I have learned so much as a sponsor, but also as a skincare professional. And all of you NASNPROs out there, you are so incredibly lucky to be part of this community. I'm going to like tear up in a second, but it has been such a growth process for me. And I always want to give back. And so I have for the past couple of years, and it does my heart so good to give away something that I'm so passionate about to a NASNPRO. So my big announcement is that I'll be giving away a skin classic during the Boston NASNPRO July the 19th. So I'm hoping that you're all excited about this. And I think I might have hinted before that I was going to do this, but it's always a joy to do. But there are a few things that I'm going to need to go over with you if you want to get in on it. So I'm imagining the people out there are wanting to get in on it, huh? I see lots of thumbs up. Okay, good. And for those of you that don't really know about the Skin Classic, you might be thinking, this is the first time hopping on. You don't know me. You don't know what a Skin Classic is. It's a unit devised to treat minor skin imperfections.
Hey, Stephanie, hold that thought. Just wait. Here in the studio.
Ooh.
I have one. And it's not because I won it. It's because I paid for it when
she bought it
and bought it. So
and I went to Denise's and trained her as well. So she got the hands-on training that you're going to get when you win this Skin Classic.
So one lucky person is going to win this.
Totally. And for those of you that don't really know much about it, don't worry, hang on. I want you to get in on the giveaway too. I will be doing Skin Classic master classes up till the time of the drawing. Maybe once every 2 weeks, you can hop in, really get a deep dive into what the Skin Classic does, what it can do for your practice, what it can do for your bottom line. And actually, you're just going to make so many people extremely happy when you use this machine on them. So, and a lot of you I'm seeing there are already in my world. So I want to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. And if you want to get in on the action, on July 19th at NASNPRO, this is what you're going to have to do. You will have to go to my web page, which is rnfaces.com, and we'll drop a link. We can drop that link in the comments here or in through the next post, but you'll be seeing enough of it that you'll be able to see it. Now, on my page, you can see already that it's not just me that loves the machine, but it is it's a lot of you estheticians out there. The ACA awards from Dermoscope have been very favorable to my Skin Classic. And that's because of the results that all of you are getting out there with your clients. So when you go to my website, there are a few things you can click on. It looks a little crazy, but there's one particular page here where you can enter to win your Skin Classic. If you go on this page, and I think you can see this, and there's Skin Classic giveaway right in the top header of my page there. So you will fill this out on the right and only open to skincare professionals, no one else. You can be a licensed cosmetologist that works on skin. You can be a licensed esthetician, a nurse, a doctor, PA, whatever it is. So you're all open to being able to get into the drawing. And only one entry per client. However, I'm going to get into something a little bit more fun, but you're going to need to check all of the boxes. And these boxes contain things like you are going to have to, and if you're on this channel right now, join NASNPRO. It's free. So all you'll have to do is go to this block and click it, and then you'll be able to join NASNPRO for free. You're going to have to join the NASNPRO Facebook page right here. You click on and you join it, because if you don't join that page, you're going to miss out on the giveaway. Because when I go live, when we pick for the free Skin Classic, you must be in the NASNPRO Facebook page to hear your name picked, and you'll have 5 minutes to be able to respond. And we've had a couple heartbreaks of people that didn't respond in the amount of time. So you'll need to go to NASNPRO and join. Then you do need to join NASNPRO's Facebook page. That's where all the magic will happen July 19th. Not the whole day, just at the end of the day for the drawing. And you will need to go to my Facebook page and like it. I get some likes that way, but more importantly, you're going to get your updates on the Skin Classic giveaway. If there's something that I need to convey, I'm going to let you know right there on my Facebook page. Plus, you can scroll through and see all the different videos and before and after pictures of what I do with the Skin Classic. And also over here on the right, if you join me live, generally every Monday, I presented Monday earlier today, I do my support for my Skin Classic providers, or you might see me supporting my clients in the office with regard to Skin Classic treatments. Either way, it's always a learning experience where you can pick up a little nugget. And so this is where it gets a little better. If you, and you can, when you're on here, when you go to rnfaces.com, you'll be able to click on to the NASNPRO event for July. Once you click that on, you purchase your ticket, and you know your ticket right now is $49. Don't wait till it goes up, $99, sorry. Don't wait till it goes up to what, $149, I think it is. Don't wait till it does that, but wait, there's more. If you attend this seminar, then you get 2 entries on the Google wheel. So this way you'll be able to see live when the Google wheel picks you. And if you had 2 chances more than somebody else, it's totally worth it. So if you're in that tri-state area and you want to come and see the Skin Classic in person, you know, I have way more fun at these NASNPROs now that they're live again, because I get to demo the Skin Classic in depth with people surrounding the table. Yeah. So if you have skin imperfections, like say you have some spots on your hands and you want to get rid of those, or you have some skin tags, definitely you're going to come sit in my chair in Boston, and I'm going to be able to rock those skin tags for you, and they will be gone. And it's not unlike too, if I have to have an Uber driver take me there, I might drag my Uber driver in because those Uber drivers always have skin tags and have attended many a NASNPRO for 10 or 15 minutes. So it's always a lot of fun at my table. I'll be doing giveaways at my table in Boston. So definitely you're going to want to go to that event. Already people from Virginia, my peeps from Kansas, they're going to NASNPRO in Boston. It's going to be a huge event in our industry. Okay, so one of the other things that you really have to do is at the bottom of the page is click that link. That is the link for the Thermolysis Skincare for Esthetician private Facebook group. And I'm going to do the Skin Classic Masterclass there. The reason I do it there, and I do it there because I can't do it on my public Facebook page, because in that group I can get really down and dirty, nitty gritty about these imperfections. Not only that, that's where you can go to see other estheticians that are posting their beautiful before and afters. Maybe they're posing a question. Maybe you have that same question, but somebody just asked it. Well, we have about 6,000 members in there. The majority of them are electrodesiccators, and they have a lot of experience. So you're going to be in company with a community that doesn't talk about much of anything else except thermolysis skincare for estheticians. You're truly supported here. So if you win the Skin Classic, besides getting the one-on-one training in your facility, so we'll come anywhere to you in the US. But if you're outside the US, you'll have to do online training with me and 4 to 5 models in your chair where I eagle eye every single thing that you're doing, and I get you through the treatments beautifully. I just got done doing one today up in New York, but I'm down here in Cape Charles, Virginia. Okay, so one other thing, the check boxes. If you are outside of the USA and you win, that's perfectly fine. But again, you're going to have to be a NASNPRO and everything else. You'll have to incur the shipping. The only ones outside of the US that won't incur the shippings are anyone if they win in the UK. If someone in the UK wins, then I have one over there right now waiting to be delivered to somebody that wins. And of course, the UK providers will have to be NASNPRO members as well. So I know it sounds like a lot to kind of go through, but this is, with the Skin Classic comes a lot of responsibility. It's not a quick pickup machine on Amazon or just one little thing. There's many different irregularities, many different clients to select. The money that you can make is phenomenal, and I'm always about the money. But if you have a machine like this, you must be trained appropriately, one-on-one or online with me, to really make this work in your practice. Otherwise, if you were to just purchase a machine, it would sit on the shelf without the proper training. And I have awesome Skin Classic trainers all around the country. So they will come and sit with you and 4 to 5 people that you want to have in as models, and they will hawkeye you and help you get through all of those treatments. And then we're there for support after in our group, the Thermolysis Skincare for Esthetician. And that's where we can talk about pricing and healing and all that. So I don't do that on my public page. So there are a few little things to get to know about electrodesiccation, but if it's something that you've been looking at, then you will be totally set up to receive your Skin Classic and know what to expect. So that's my big thing, is just making sure everyone knows exactly what to expect. I don't know. Did I cover everything, Denise?
I think you did. That sounds amazing. And first and foremost, we really do value and appreciate our sponsors. And we appreciate you, Stephanie, and everything that RN Faces stands for, just what you bring to the table as far as your experience, your professionalism. And we love partnering with you and collaborating with you. So again, from my heart to yours, we really do value you and appreciate you being a diamond sponsor for NASNPRO.
Why, thank you, thank you. I love being a sponsor, and I don't know if there's any questions in the comments or anything like that. I did have a comment earlier. Unfortunately, not having this open to students, that can be a can of worms because they're not licensed yet. And if in fact they didn't get their license, it's not a machine that we just want to have out there without training. So they're not eligible. And of course, everyone will be a skincare professional. My assistant, Jackie, I love Jackie. I don't know, she helps me out so much in my business. She will be super sleuthing through all of the applications because, as Denise knows, sometimes people want to cut some corners and maybe they don't want to learn, or maybe they're not a skincare professional and they've been eyeing what we do anyway. So we go through and really make sure that they've checked the boxes, but just because they checked the boxes doesn't mean they joined my group. They joined NASNPRO. And we make sure of that so that when it comes time to pick that name, that person should be able to receive that Skin Classic without a hitch.
Right. Well, and it's important, I know we had a discussion earlier in the week. I had posted something about one of the application, a membership application.
I saw that.
And we do get a lot of bots that come through. And part of the reason why we don't have like a really big security is because I do go through and I've had assistants look through and they sometimes don't know. So I wasn't trying to shame anyone. And unfortunately, sometimes when it's a bot, they say the craziest thing. And that one post actually came through 12 times. So that told me that wasn't a real person or a real escort. It was, but my point was, I really do value our licensing. It's important. I don't believe in deregulation, and I want to support the licensed professionals. Our industry, the only way it's going to remain strong is if we support each other through that licensing. And that's hiring licensed estheticians, not just having a machine doing that service. Machines are great, but we need to have a qualified technician on that machine. That's how we stay valuable in our industry and to our community. So with that said, I know what the time it takes to go through each of those applications, but yes, we want the winner, whoever it may be, to be able to use it, be able to understand it, the Skin Classic, and not just, then go back and resell it on Amazon. This is a machine that deserves to be on Amazon.
Right. Totally. Yeah. So I'm super excited. I just can't wait until we do that. And we're going to do the Google wheel, right? Because that would be good. Okay. And that means that we can't get those last minute people coming in. It will be cut off at midnight the night before. So if you get to NASNPRO that day and you get your ticket in the morning at the door, you won't be on the wheel. The wheel stops at midnight. My assistant, God love her, she does a great job for me, but I can't ask her to do those last minute things because somebody might not get on the wheel and be very upset. So if we cut it off at midnight, then everybody will be happy and above board.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for that exciting that news that some lucky person is going to win on July 19th. July 19th in Boston, and it will be live. So even if you cannot be at the Boston event, you still can register and you may win. So that's what is exciting with technology. Again, thank you so much, Stephanie, for your expertise today. If there's any questions over the presentation, feel free to ask in the comments. Also, if you log into NASNPRO.com, did you know that we have an education portal? Presentations. So the presentation that you did in Atlanta, Stephanie. What was that on? It was how to get noticed in print. It was really good. And I just did a coaching session with a salon owner and told her all about it.
Oh, awesome.
So with that said, log into NASNPRO.com. There is the education portal, and you will see PowerPoint presentations from previous presentation and speakers, and lots of articles in there. So there's a lot of good stuff if you actually do go use your member rewards. Log in, NASNPRO.com. It's a resource. All right, Stephanie, thank you again so much. Have a great day. We will see you in Boston. All right, we have had just a jam-packed full of information today, and we are going to come back in 5 minutes at 3 o'clock to pick a winner of the swag bag. We've got to get that Wheel of Fortune spin, everyone's names on it. So we will see you in 5 minutes.